Welcome, everyone, to Make Your Day Richer. I'm so glad you're here. Happy 4th of July. I'm your host, Oprah Winfrey. Today, I'm joined by a trailblazer who's on a mission to completely change how we think about getting older. Corinne Auman is the founder of Choice Care Navigators. It's a company dedicated to helping families navigate the aging process. She's also the author of the groundbreaking book, Keenagers. Corinne urges us to embrace aging in a positive light, dispelling myths and focusing on finding purpose and meaning in every stage of life. So if that sounds like a good show to you, press that like button, press the share button, and let's start the show.
Make your day richer than it was before. Got some good times knocking upon your front door.
Corinne, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Well, tell everybody about your book, Keenagers, what they can find inside the book.
So, first of all, it's Keenagers with a K. It's a little hard to hear the difference sometimes, but the word comes from an older adult that I spoke to, and I said, "Hey, what do you guys like to be called? What's a positive word?" And she said, "We call ourselves Keenagers," which makes tons of sense because the definition of keen is to be highly interested in something, to be sharp, which is a way to describe a lot of our older adults today. And that's what the whole book is about. So the subtitle is Telling a New Story About Aging. And the whole book is about how aging today, older adulthood today, is very different than maybe what your parents or your grandparents experienced. First of all, we get a lot more of it. We get an extra decade or two of life that they did not get for the most part. And that is really something to look forward to. It's a gift that other generations did not get. And yet somehow our society talks about aging like it is the worst possible thing that could ever happen to you, right? We're all aging. It's inevitable, and it's something to look forward to. So the book is all about interviews with Keenagers, people who are aging really well and doing interesting things with their older adulthood. It's also tips and things for how to plan. If you want to make your older adult years some of the best years of your life, what do you need to do? How do you need to think about it? What papers and documents do we have in place? All those kinds of things. And then also make us all take a look at that little inner voice in our head that's telling us things like, well, I'm too old to do that, or, growing older sucks, whatever that little voice in your head is, like trying to get people to stop and go, why do I think that? Right? Like, is that really true? And questioning the negative stereotypes we all have about growing older.
Is the book for the Keenagers, or is it for those of us who love them and are going to be Keenagers?
It is for the Keenagers in training. So really people probably in middle adulthood and approaching older adulthood. I'm going to tell you, the 70, 80-year-olds that I know, they all just look at me and go, yeah, we know it's great.
Yeah.
Right? Like we know that there's so much to look forward to. It's really those of us approaching that age that are struggling the most with it, right? That are freaking out about it a little bit on the inside. And this book will help you not freak out so much.
Can you tell everybody a little bit about your background and why you ended up talking to the Keenagers to begin with about this?
Sure. So my background, I have a PhD in developmental psychology, and I specialize in adulthood and aging. I was a college professor for a number of years teaching adulthood and aging type classes. So I have a lot of experience just in the research world and thinking about older adults. And then 13 years ago, I started a care management business where I actively work with older adults and their loved ones to help them navigate the healthcare system and the aging process. And that experience working with older adults really showed me how different older adulthood is than even what I thought it was going to be like. I really thought when I started my business, I was going to be working with 40-year-olds who were caring for 70-year-old parents. And that is not the case at all. I am working with 70-year-olds who are caring for their 90-year-old parents. The 70-year-olds are still working and volunteering and doing all kinds of things. And they're, out and about. They're not the ones getting the care most of the time. They're the ones who are calling me saying, can you help me with my 95-year-old mom because she needs some things? And so I really realized that even with all my training and my background, I had such misperceptions about what older adulthood was like today and what aging was like today. So if I'm that off track, everybody else is too. And it has been such a joy to see that, but also to see the difference in how people age based on their attitude. The people who have a positive outlook, they are the ones planning, preparing, thinking about how they're going to have a great older adulthood. They're excited about it. And guess what? It goes better for them because of that attitude. When the people who are really negative about it, they don't plan, they don't prepare, and they don't do things to take care of themselves because they basically have this attitude of growing older is going to be terrible. So why would I exercise? Why would I eat well? It's all downhill from here. And that kind of becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy for them in terms of what actually happens in their life. So that has really motivated me to look in my own head about what am I saying, what's going to happen as I get older, and then to think about how do I tell other people, hey, this can be great, and the way you're approaching it and the way you're thinking about it really matters.
How come it does feel like, we don't have any other choice but to get older, and yet it feels like we don't know what it's like to get older? Like, is it because, are we not asking? Are people not telling what it's like to get older? Because I also feel like at a certain age, we sort of put them to the side and we don't feel like they're part of society anymore, that they can give to society and be a productive part.
Sure. So we have a real mismatch right now between what older adulthood is actually like these days and what we perceive it to be like. So for example, the retirement age, and I'm putting that in quotes because what does that even mean? Typically we think of that as being 65. Well, that number came about because that's when you could get Social Security benefits when we started that in the 1930s. Well, the average lifespan back then was 67. So we were expecting you to retire, get your Social Security benefits, live for a couple of years, and then be done. Now, the average lifespan is another decade. It's 76, 77, depending on if you're male or female. And that extra decade is a whole bunch of time that we as a society don't know what to do with people. Right. Like, and when we get there ourselves, I talk to a lot of older adults, and at 65, they're like, no, I'm at the top of my game. Like, I have all this knowledge and I have all these skills, and I want to keep maybe not working a 40-hour week, but I want to keep doing stuff and, maybe work part-time or consult or do whatever. But society, just like you said, is kind of telling me, no, we're done with you. You can move on. They're not getting promoted at work. Everybody keeps asking them when they're going to retire. And so we have this real mismatch between what our lifespan and our abilities are now versus the way we've set up the system to kind of, like you said, put people out to pasture in some way and say, oh no, you go off and we don't really need you anymore.
Do you feel like that is changing though? I've seen really successful older people on TikTok that are out there like explaining their lives, and people are connecting with them. Do you feel like it's starting to finally change where we can see what it's like and we can prepare and know that it can actually be fun?
I absolutely think there is a shift happening because of social media and older adults getting on social media. See, there's a stereotype. We think, oh no, they don't use smartphones and they won't be on TikTok. And yet there they are. There is much more of a movement in terms of overcoming ageism, thinking about aging in a new way, more so now than I really think I've ever seen before. And part of that is the social media, but part of it is just that we do have so many older adults living longer, living healthier, that are looking around going, hey, I'm still got things to say over here, things to do. I want to be productive. I'm not ready to just go play golf all day or, sit at home and watch TV. And so that shift is definitely happening. I hear more about it now than I think we ever have in the past.
Yeah. Yeah. I turned 40 last year and people were like, are you afraid of turning 40? I was like, I mean, we could have the opposite of turning 40. So like, I don't know. I don't think it's that. Were you ever afraid of getting older?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
And it's really funny because I don't think it bothers me. And I don't, my husband, we talk about like, what are we going to do as we get older? And he would like to retire and different things. He's thinking about that, when that comes. And I'm kind of like, I don't think I ever want to retire like that. I like what I do. I enjoy my work. That doesn't sound fun to me. So that whole let's retire and do, I don't know, it just doesn't appeal to me. But it's also, this year will be my 50th birthday. And he keeps asking me like, what do you want to do for your birthday? Like, it's a big birthday. It's this and that. And I'm like, is it a big birthday? Like, what difference does it really make? And on the one hand, I know, he's wanting to celebrate me and, to be kind and loving and all those things. And and we can do that, but I don't think I need a big whatever, because it's a new decade, that kind of thing. It's like, it's a birthday and I'm grateful to have it and I'll be happy to celebrate it, but also it's just a birthday.
Yeah. Yeah. My grandma's turning 94 this year and still living on her own in her 2-story house. She does her yard work. And I always like, it's part of the reason why she's 94. She's going through cancer right now and like kicking that ass. And like the reason is because she's always been mowing her own lawn. She's always been sweeping the snow off her driveway. She's been very active at home and outside of home. And I see it in other family members who are the opposite of that. And, and there's a reason why she's still fun and and having a good time. Yeah.
One of the worst things you can do is retire and then do nothing or sit on your couch or, everybody needs purpose. Everybody needs something to get up and do. That is part of what keeps your body and your mind healthy and active. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. We were talking about your business, Choice Care Navigators. That's the name of it, right? Okay, good. Do you only work with like people local to you, or if people want to connect with you, how do they do that?
So the business only works locally, and we're in North Carolina, but there are people like me that do care management across the nation. You can look at our professional organization, which is aginglifecare.org, and you can search for a care manager in your area that do that, local to you. And that's what you want, because you want local expertise in terms of resources and things like that. I do public speaking nationwide. So if anybody wants to have me come talk about aging or care management, I'm happy to come do that anywhere.
Okay, good. And what's your website?
It's just my name. So it's CorinneAuman.com.
Okay, perfect. What do you love most about your life right now?
What do I love most? I think I love having 4 teenagers, believe it or not.
Wow.
They are chaos incarnate, but also really fun. I'm really enjoying that right now. Like having that sort of, almost adults, but not really adults, and still getting to see them be kids and that joy that they're having.
And have real conversations with them also.
Yeah, you can really talk to them. Sometimes you don't want to talk to them.
Right.
But you can really talk to them.
When they want to talk in a real
Yes. And they're so interesting. They're such interesting. They're becoming such interesting people.
Fun. Where in North Carolina are you? I'm across the border in South Carolina.
I'm in Greensboro.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
And where are you?
Great. I'm in in this tiny little town. but like right on the border of North and South Carolina, kind of by Waxhaw, Indian Land.
Okay.
Do you know any of those? Like Rock Hill, kind of?
Yeah, Lancaster.
Yeah, that's where, yes.
Yeah. Cool.
That's where I am.
There you go.
Yeah. There's a great massage therapist in Greensboro that I should tell you about. I literally will drive the 3 hours to go to her.
Wow, that's an endorsement. I need that referral. Yes.
Yeah, she's really good, really good. Well, it's a pleasure having you here and meeting you. I'm so thankful for the work that you're doing and the stories that you're telling, because I think it's very important.
Thank you so much for having me. Glad to do it.
Yes, the book is called Keenagers with a K, right there on your screen. We'll take a break and be right back after this. Don't go away. Life is difficult. Are you feeling overwhelmed or like you could use a little support for your mental well-being? Visit the Help Hub. It's the most comprehensive and inclusive free online destination for mental health resources, helpful tools, crisis hotlines, and supportive content. Just go to thehelphub.co to find the resources you need when you need them most. Unlike other resource pages, the Help Hub is divided into 16 different categories, ensuring that everyone in every community has access to the resources and support that matches their unique needs. Find the help you're looking for at thehelphub.co. Welcome back to the show, everyone. Hey, go have a safe, fun weekend. I hope it's calm. I hope you have a good time. Oh, the dog is about to push me over. And I hope you go make your day richer. Go make somebody else's day richer. You've made mine by watching this show, and I love you for it. Oh, excuse me. It's our floor directors trying to get through here. And if you'd like to support the show, buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/makeyourdayricher. And we'll see you on Monday with an all new episode. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.